Tonight's story didn't just shake the internet. It detonated inside circles that were never supposed to be exposed, because according to leaked reports now spreading across online forums, private chats, and anonymous insider accounts, Andrew Kolvet allegedly told federal investigators something nobody expected to hear, not about politics, not about media pressure, but about Erika Kirk. And the moment those claims surfaced, people started revisiting old footage, old interviews, old timelines, old photos that once looked harmless, but now felt deeply unsettling, because suddenly, tiny details didn't feel accidental anymore. The nervous glances, the abrupt disappearances, the strange pauses during interviews, the tension people ignored. And then came the rumor that changed everything, that Charlie Kirk may have caught them, not in the dramatic Hollywood way people imagine, something quieter, colder, more disturbing. Because if the allegations are true, the relationship between Andrew Kolvet and Erika Kirk didn't simply end. It collapsed under pressure from secrets that allegedly spiraled completely out of control, and according to multiple online theories now exploding across social media. Someone started panicking long before the public noticed, but that was only the beginning. Because investigators, internet sleuths, and former insiders claim there's a much darker layer underneath this entire story, one involving hidden conversations, emotional manipulation, suspicious timing, and alleged fear building behind closed doors. The kind of fear that changes people, the kind that makes relationships unravel in silence. And the deeper people looked, the stranger everything became, especially when viewers began noticing how suddenly Andrew disappeared from certain public spaces connected to the Kirk circle. At first, nobody thought much about it. People drift apart all the time. Friendships fade. Associations change. But according to internet speculation, the timing felt too precise to ignore. 1 week, everything looked normal. Then suddenly, distance. No explanations, no clear statements. Just silence. And on the internet, silence creates theories faster than facts ever can. That's when users began connecting dots that may or may not have been connected at all. Old podcast appearances resurfaced. Archived photos circulated again. People analyzed body language frame by frame, like investigators, studying surveillance footage. And then one particular rumor exploded across discussion boards that Andrew Kolvet allegedly spoke to the FBI about why he cut ties with Erika completely. Not disagreement, not personal drama, fear, at least according to the online narrative, now spreading everywhere. And once that word entered the conversation, everything changed. Because fear suggests something deeper, something unstable, something hidden. Suddenly people weren't asking whether there was tension. They were asking what caused it. And more importantly, what was Charlie Kirk seeing behind the scenes? Because some viewers now believe Charlie may have noticed changes long before the public did. Tiny behavioral shifts, strange emotional reactions, moments that looked insignificant at the time, but feel eerie in hindsight. A smile that vanished too quickly. An uncomfortable pause. A look toward the floor. A sudden topic change. Nothing concrete, but enough to feed the machine of speculation. And once the internet smells mystery, it never lets go. That's when the theories became darker. Some claimed Charlie allegedly confronted inconsistencies privately. Others believe he became suspicious after noticing emotional distance and unusual interactions between people close to him, but nobody truly knows. And that uncertainty became gasoline, because the more unclear the story became, the bigger it grew. Then investigators online uncovered another disturbing detail. Several people connected to the broader circle reportedly became unusually quiet at the exact same time rumors started intensifying. No direct denials, no emotional responses. Just controlled silence. careful silence, the kind that makes people wonder whether everyone was trying not to say the wrong thing. And that terrified viewers even more, because when stories are false, people usually overreact. But when people become cautious, that's when audiences start believing there's something real underneath. And according to online discussions, Andrew Kolvet's alleged statements to investigators may have centered around emotional instability growing behind the scenes, not one dramatic moment. Build-up pressure stacking slowly over time, conversations becoming tense, trust eroding quietly, and people allegedly realizing too late that things had become emotionally dangerous. But then the narrative shifted again, because internet users began asking a much more disturbing question. If Andrew walked away because he feared what was happening, why didn't Charlie? That question spread everywhere, and honestly, nobody had a good answer. Some believed Charlie never fully understood what was happening around him. Others think he saw more than anyone realized, and a darker group believes he may have confronted the situation directly shortly before everything exploded publicly. That theory intensified after users started dissecting old clips where Charlie appeared unusually exhausted, distracted, emotionally drained. Again, nothing confirmed, but enough to trigger endless speculation. And once audiences emotionally attach themselves to a mystery, every expression becomes evidence. Every silence becomes suspicious. Every coincidence starts feeling planned. That's when another alleged leak surfaced. Private conversations, unverified, unconfirmed, but explosive enough to spread across the internet. Within hours, the alleged messages painted a picture of paranoia growing inside personal relationships connected to the situation. People questioning loyalty, questioning intentions, questioning who was telling the truth. And according to those online theories, Andrew allegedly reached a breaking point, not anger, not revenge, panic, the kind of panic that happens when someone believes they're trapped inside a situation spiraling beyond control. But the scariest part wasn't the alleged leak itself. It was the reaction afterward. Because people close to the story reportedly stopped acknowledging certain rumors entirely. No clarification, no cleanup, nothing, and that silence became deafening. Then things got even darker. Internet investigators started building timelines, and according to those timelines, several emotional fractures allegedly happened weeks before the public noticed any tension at all, which raised another terrifying possibility. What if the collapse started long before anyone realized? What if people were already trying to escape the situation quietly? That's when viewers revisited the central rumor again, that Charlie Kirk allegedly caught them. But what exactly does caught even mean? It's an affair, emotional betrayal, manipulation, private conversations. Nobody knows. And that uncertainty keeps the story alive, because unresolved mysteries become addictive, especially when every new theory appears to explain another missing piece. Some users believe Charlie confronted Andrew directly. Others think Andrew voluntarily admitted things before they escalated further. And a more disturbing theory claims federal investigators became interested because emotional conflicts inside the circle allegedly intersected with larger concerns nobody expected. Again, no verified evidence confirms these theories, but online speculation doesn't wait for confirmation. It evolves. Mutates spreads. And this story spread fast, especially after creators began posting side-by-side clips comparing older interactions with newer appearances. The difference felt unsettling to many viewers. People who once appeared comfortable suddenly looked guarded, rigid, careful, like everyone was protecting something invisible. That's when audiences became obsessed with one question above all others: what really happened between Andrew Kolvet and Erika Kirk? Not the public version, the private version, the hidden version, the version people allegedly whispered about. Behind closed doors while cameras stayed rolling in public, because according to several viral theories, the relationship allegedly became emotionally toxic long before it ended. Not explosive on the surface, controlled, quiet, psychological, the kind of tension that builds slowly until everyone involved feels trapped inside it. And if that's true, it would explain why some people allegedly vanished from the situation so abruptly. Not drama.escape. But then another twist appeared. Some internet users now believe the FBI angle itself may have been exaggerated online, not fabricated entirely, but amplified, distorted through rumors, reposts, anonymous insiders, and creators chasing viral attention. And honestly, that possibility changes everything. Because if parts of the story were manipulated publicly, who benefited from that chaos? Who gained attention? Who shaped the narrative? Who redirected blame? Suddenly, the mystery became even bigger. Now, it wasn't just about relationships. It was about perception, control, information, and whether audiences were watching a real unraveling or a carefully constructed internet panic spiral. But even that explanation failed to calm people down, because certain details still felt impossible to ignore: the timing, the emotional reactions, the disappearances, the alleged leaks, the whispers from insiders, claiming there was far more happening privately than anyone would ever admit publicly. And every time the story seemed ready to fade away, another clip resurfaced, another theory exploded, another alleged insider appeared online. That's when viewers started noticing something chilling. Nobody connected to the story ever seemed fully relaxed discussing it. Even indirectly, there was always tension, hesitation, careful wording, like everyone understood how dangerous one wrong sentence could become. And maybe that's why this story refuses to die, because people sense fear around it. Real fear, not internet drama. Something heavier, something emotional, something unresolved, and unresolved stories become obsessions online, especially when audiences believe they're watching hidden truths leak out in real time. Now the internet remains divided. Some believe Andrew Kolvet walked away because he saw manipulation and instability growing behind the scenes. Others think the entire narrative has been exaggerated beyond recognition by conspiracy-driven communities hungry for drama, and another group believes we still haven't seen the real story yet, that the biggest reveal hasn't happened, that something else remains hidden, waiting. But maybe the most disturbing part of all this is how believable the emotional tension feels to people watching from the outside. Because whether the rumors are true or false, audiences recognize something familiar in the story. Secrets, fear, distrust, people pretending everything is normal while pressure quietly destroys relationships underneath. And that emotional realism is exactly why the theories keep spreading. Because viewers don't just watch stories like this anymore. They investigate them, frame by frame, word by word, expression by expression, searching for cracks, searching for truth, searching for the moment. Everything fell apart. But maybe the real question isn't whether Charlie Kirk caught them. Maybe the real question is this: what was everyone so afraid of? And why does nobody seem willing to answer directly? So what do you think was really happening behind the scenes? Do you believe Andrew Kolvet ended the relationship because of emotional manipulation? Or because something even darker was unfolding privately? And do you think Charlie Kirk truly discovered something disturbing? Or has the internet transformed ordinary tension into a full-blown conspiracy? Drop your theories in the comments below, because every new perspective pushes this story deeper into public conversation. And sometimes that's when hidden details finally emerge. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the internet's most unsettling mysteries, make sure to like, Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. Because this story still doesn't feel over. Not even close.